The Bamboo Project podcast starts in 3, 2.
Welcome to the Bamboo Project podcast. My name is DonivanGray, the future $10 billion man. On the way to 10 billion, I decided that I'm going to help create 1,000 millionaires, including myself. And not by being a guru or selling a course, but by doing the things I already love to do every day and documenting my journey to get there. I figure I'll make all the mistakes so you don't have to. My name is DonivanGray, and this is how I will turn my life into a living. We made different playlists for all the things we are into, and you can find all of those links in the description box below. This may be your first time here, and if it is, welcome to the family. But for everyone else, this is chapter 4, page 22. Today's day is Thursday, August 17th, and it is 12:49 p.m. Now, before we get into the topics of the day, we always start off with screen time. That is when me and Melissa check our phone to see how much time we spent on it last week. Because if we are not taking advantage of our phone, then our phone is taking advantage of us. And we can't have that. All right. Last week, every day, I spent an average of 9 hours and 26 minutes on my phone. I don't even know how that's possible. That's crazy. My first used app was YouTube, then X, and then Mail. Why was this YouTube so high? That's kind of crazy. 14 hours on YouTube is like 2 hours a day. What was I watching?
On YouTube? What were you watching?
Last week?
I feel like maybe you were watching more interviews than you have in a while.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know. I don't have no idea. That's crazy. That's every day average 9 hours, 26 minutes. That's insane. What the heck happened last week? I'll think about it later during the podcast. That's crazy. I picked up my phone on average 107 times a day. And my first used app after pickup was Mail, then Instagram, and then YouTube. Okay, baby girl, what was your screen time like last week?
Last week, I spent on average 5 hours and 55 minutes on my phone. So I'm down 22% from the week before. My most used app was Instagram at 9 hours, then TikTok at 7 hours. Messages for 3, YouTube for 3, CapCut for 3, Gmail for 3, camera for 2. And then on average, I picked up my phone 147 times, which is down 10% from the week before. My first used app after pickup is Gmail, then Instagram, then Messages, then Music. And then my most pickups was Saturday. I picked up my phone 202 times.
Now for the subscriber check. On our Candle channel, we are at 517 subscribers. And on our main channel, we are at 6,569 total subscribers. All right, guys. So, life-changing moment this week for sure. Absolutely life-changing. Where should I even begin? So, obviously, we've been trying to figure out how to make more money, right? Our main source of income is doing craft fairs. So, there are several that we do regularly and semi-regularly. One is Artisan Fleas in Williamsburg. The other one would be Chelsea. Then there's Grand Bazaar. And then there's the Brooklyn Pop-Up, right? These are fairs that we kind of frequent more than 2 times. So on the last podcast, I had talked about us trying to focus on marginal profit as opposed to the gross number, right? So we decided that we would go and be triple booked on Sunday because the last time we did Grand Bazaar, I made $900. I believe the time before that, it might have been like $700 at Grand Bazaar. So it was good, right? And we only spend maybe $85, let's call it $110 roughly, right? I don't even know if it's that much. So if we make 600, I only spend 100, we're keeping 500 from it. as opposed to at Williamsburg, we might make 800 or 900. We have to work 2 days, but we're keeping 500 again, right? So we had to work more days for it, and we kind of put out more money, right? We put out 375 or 350 out of the 8. So we're keeping like 5 or 4 something, and over here we make 7. We only put out 1. So technically we're still making more money at Grand Bazaar. So we're like, okay, I'm thinking to myself, it'd be better for us to try and focus on markets that have a higher profit margin for us. So we ended up booking a Grand Bazaar and then Brooklyn pop-up. The last 2 times I did Brooklyn pop-up, we did decent. I think we did like 600-700 and then like 400-500, just like okay, especially for how much we're paying. So we're like, all right, cool. We're gonna be triple booked on Sunday at 2 different fairs. We're gonna have Melissa's brother go to Williamsburg, just sit down and relax and just chill out. We pretty much already chalked it up as a loss because we don't even ask him to sell. We just want a body to be there so that we can go and make money somewhere else. That's the strategy. That's the plan. In all the fairs that I've done in almost 2 years now, right? Year and a half, year and like 7 months. I've never had such a bad Sunday or bad day of fairs. Never. I'm talking about across all the fairs that we've ever done. Any day you can choose, I've never had this kind of day. So at Grand Bazaar, I think I did 3 sales, 3 medium candles. Melissa was at Brooklyn pop-up. How many did you do?
3.
Melissa did 3 sales. Her brother did 0 sales. So we were triple booked on Sunday and we did a total of 6 sales. Normally on triple bookings, we might do like $1,800, $2,000 in a day, maybe even like $1,600, right? On a triple booking. And bro, when I tell you I'm just tired of the disorganization that we experience in doing multiple fairs and getting to the fairs, not having all the candles, right? So that day we spent $180. I'll do the math on my phone. We did $180 we spent for Brooklyn pop-up, right? We spent technically another $175 for Williamsburg because it was $350, but we're paying it monthly. Then we spent another let's say 80, like 110 for Grand Bazaar. So we're in the whole $465 to start, right? If you think about transportation, we didn't want to get in trouble and be late, so we ended up taking an Uber because, again, this organization, we were not ready in the morning to just leave early. So I think we spent $100 on Ubers that day. It was like $40, and I think let's call it $80, let's call it $90, right? It might have been like 40 and 50 or 40 and 60, something around that. So let's call it 90. So plus 90. So we spent $555. I think it's interesting because you just saw 555 on your phone. It's 555 again. But we spent $555 that day. If we're gonna count food is another maybe $20 for me and $20 for her. So another $40. So now we're at $595. She sold 3 medium candles. I sold 3 medium candles. So let's do how much money that right now we're negative, right? Negative $595. We were supposed to be making $1,500, $2,000 that day. We lost $400. And at this point, I'm kind of like, okay, something is wrong. Something is going on. Like, it's a glaring issue that we have to address. And at the time, I'm like, okay, I don't really know what it is. But I just decided that I have to make the decision to just kind of will it into existence. That's a phrase that my friend and I used to use back in the day because it could be a me thing, but I noticed, I don't want to say it's a me thing because I feel like every owner of a business that I've ever encountered has run into the same thing. But I don't mind, and I said this on the last podcast. I don't mind having issues in the business. I feel like I'm okay with that, right? My problem is when there are issues that too many random coincidences in a row, too many negative random coincidences. So examples of that would be, okay, I'm gonna go to work on the vlog at the storage unit, right? The storage unit is 3 or 4 blocks from here. So in my mind, how I process that is, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna get dressed, I'm gonna walk over to the storage unit, and I'm gonna edit the vlog. That's how I see it. The hard part would be trying to figure out how I'm gonna edit it. You know, maybe staying awake while I'm editing it. Maybe even having storage might be an issue too. Those in my mind are the issues that come up from planning to go to edit the video. When I run into something like my key for the storage unit falls off my keychain while I'm walking, now I gotta go back and find my keychain. I'm walking to the storage unit with the cart run up on my leg and tear up my shoes. What's another issue that might randomly happen on the way there? Oh, this one happened yesterday. It was an annoying thing, right? Remember I said my thing is I go to the storage unit, I open up the locker, I start working. So I went there and the front door is locked. And I'm like, boy, okay. There's no one behind the front desk, so they normally lock the front door. It was always locked, but normally they'll just open it. So I go around the back. At this time, we haven't paid for the storage unit. No, I'm wrong. We have paid for it, but we haven't paid like the last 7 days that it was due. So they take a red lock and they put it on top of the storage unit or on the lock for the storage unit. So I go up to check, maybe they took it off. They did not take it off. So now I come back downstairs to go to the office to see if they can go to the lock off. Now the back door is also locked. And I'm just kind of like, okay, there's no way to get in contact with the person, so I have to just sit here because I don't really know when I'm gonna be able to edit this vlog, right? So I'm just pretty much sitting inside of the storage area facility, just wait till somebody come. Mind you, I'm not like in a waiting area. I'm like sitting in the drive-through or driveway on one of the little carts they have. When I wake up, battling just to get up out the bed and go and do the thing and get dressed and leave the house is already enough of a hindrance. So little things like that are what annoy me. And this, like I said, if it was 1 or 2 or 3, it would be normal. I feel like I could adjust to it. When it's like 7, 12, 13 small things, you're like, okay, this is ridiculous. That happens during the craft fairs, right? And I feel like it happens because I don't have things in enough order in the house to be able to have the craft fair be multiplied easily and then repeatable and scaled, right? So after that weekend, I just decided to myself, like, listen, I know what things are supposed to be done. I know when they're supposed to be done. And for the most part, I know how it's supposed to be done. My personality type is very independent, nonchalant. If someone don't know how to do something, I'm not really trying to explain it to you. That's my personality, right? And when I think about that, I think about a convo I had with Melissa's friend like a day or two ago. And I think about being a leader, right? And we were talking about one of her friends who's a guy, and she was saying, I was asking her, like, does he have any masculine qualities about him? And she said one of them is that he's self-sufficient. And when I thought about that, it brought me to a convo that me and Melissa have had about how I think her personality type is versus my personality type. Me, if I could compare myself to an animal, I always would say that I'm more like a wolf. I'm just like by myself. I'll figure things out in my own time whenever I get to it, and that'll be fine. I'm not really trying to be around other people. Like, I'm chilling, right? Melissa, on the other hand, she is more like trying to organize people to do things, or she's trying to connect with people, right? That's not my personality type. However, what I realize is, as a man, I don't think that it works in our best interest to build a life that independently, because you have to be able to build a team, and I don't think you can have a team if I'm just focused on how I'm operating, right? So a lot of the times I will just go, okay, I'm gonna try and do this thing, and I'll leave it at that. I won't worry about what somebody else is doing. If they're doing it a different way than from me, I go, okay, by all means, do whatever you're doing. At this point, I feel like that has to change, because I think it's slowing us down tremendously. When I used to play basketball, it keeps coming up over and over and over again in my life, and it's like, okay, maybe it's a lesson I have to learn. Playing basketball growing up, I was good at basketball, but I was never vocal. I was never like saying nothing to nobody. I would come on the court and I would score a bunch of points, or I get a bunch of rebounds, or block shots, or steal a ball from the star player. Whatever thing I was doing, it was like, okay, I could tell he's a good player, right? But I was never vocal. So I may see something that someone is doing wrong and be like, yeah, well, damn, that's crazy that he don't know that that guy's only going left and he's forcing him left and he's gonna keep scoring on him. That's crazy. I would just watch. I'm like, well, if I was guarding him, I wouldn't do that, right? As I started getting older, I realized that I have to be more vocal in that respect. And I used to always think that when someone is really good, people will just notice, right? And that's not the case. And I think it's something that's perpetuated on social media. Not social media, I don't want to use social media, but like more TV, I think. And I realized that wasn't the case when I was working at the mail shop, which I was doing food delivery. And I remember there was this guy, his name was Marco, right? Or Marcos. I think he was, I don't know if he was Spanish. He might have been some type of white or Italian or something like that. And he was, according to everybody there, the fastest bike messenger, right? They were like, oh, he's able to get from here to 42nd Street and back. I think that the time they said was like 6-7 minutes. It was something short like that, right? And I'm like, oh, word? Bet. So I remember beating his time to drop this order off and coming back. No one recognized it. And I'm like, that's kind of crazy. I'm like, I'm definitely faster than he is. I'm getting the food back quicker, and I'm taking my orders and making more money than he is. But I'm like, no one is recognizing that. I go, okay. So now I'm going to start boasting about it. I'm going to start bringing it up because obviously nobody else is seeing it, right? From that point on, people start recognizing that I can ride my bike quickly, I take orders fast, and I'm making money on the bike, right? That translates into basketball. So now when I'm playing, I'm yelling on the court. I'm telling people you can't. One of the funny things I love to do when I'm playing basketball is call out people's facial expressions, because I've always been good at seeing micro expressions. But again, like I said, I don't really talk to anybody else, so I just keep them to myself. So if I see someone having a conversation, I could tell someone is visibly annoyed or visibly sad or whatever the situation might be. I'm not going to get involved. They're not talking to me, right? But as a man, that's not really how you would want. That's not really how you live your life. Like if I see someone be made uncomfortable by somebody else, my job would be to go and address that, right? That's as a stereotypical man. So when I'm playing basketball, right, if I score on somebody and I see them like put their head down, or they look away, or hear their teammates start talking about them, like, oh man, not again, or the teammate don't even say anything. The teammate might just go. Right? Before, I wouldn't say nothing, because I'm like, I know that you know that I'm busting your ass. Your team know that I'm busting your ass, but I'm not saying nothing about it, right? I'm just chilling. Now, I will call it out, right? Let's say I hit a shot. I'll say, damn, your teammate don't even trust you. Your teammate over there, look at his face. He don't even think you could guard me. I'm like, I could tell that you sad. I'm like, why you not smiling no more? You were smiling earlier when I wasn't scoring. Now I'm scoring. Now you upset. What's going on? But if I'm not saying anything, no one's addressing it, right? So now once I start doing that, then people start saying that I'm one of the best players, if not the best player in the park. But I'm like, I haven't changed how I've been playing before I start talking. But now that I'm saying something, now everybody sees it, right? So I bring this back into the whole craft fair thing. At this point, interacting with multiple people is obviously part of running a business. In the interactions I've had since Sunday, I have very little tolerance for a lot of stuff because here we go again. This is again, it's the same reoccurring thing that I keep seeing. I know how interactions are supposed to go. I know what I should say, what I shouldn't say, how the person is responding to it. But I'm always trying to coax their feelings and go, oh man, let me try to make them feel better, right? Which usually, if not every single time, is a detriment to me. Now, that could be because I think that my level of consideration for the other person is appropriate, but it may be too much consideration for the person. So now I'm like, listen, I don't like this. This is not good. Do that. That's not gonna work. This is no, we're not doing this. We're not doing that. We're only doing this, right? Now, the reason again for it is because I had to make a vow to myself that we would never have a situation like last Sunday, just because I think it's indicative of probably like 2 or 3 months that we've had in a row where things are like we're getting things done. And the problem that we'll run into is we'll make a lot of money on a weekend. Let's say we make like $2,000 in a weekend or $2,200 in a weekend, right? But then we might have a week where we make 300 where things are just going crazy, or we might buy food or whatever. And I even hesitate to even bring up the food that we might buy from outside, because in relation to how much we might make that weekend, we may not buy food in terms of like Uber Eats for a week or 2 weeks. But if we make $2,000 and we were tired, we'll buy Uber Eats. I don't think the action is wrong. I think the decision is the issue. And I've been working on all of my micro decisions because I feel like that is what really is the issue. An example of micro decision would be, okay, I know I have to fold the laundry. If I don't fold the laundry, I know on the weekend I will be looking for my clothes in the morning. It'll take me longer to get ready. I will end up late. I will end up having to pay for Uber, or I will be in a bad mindset when I get to the fair to sell. What I've been doing prior is going, all right, I can do it tomorrow. I can do it the day after that. I can just look at it in the morning and figure something out. I can find something. I'll find my clothes in that morning. I'll just do it quickly. All of that's out the window. All of that ideology is out the window. And I have to switch the gears in my mind of how I approach the craft fair, because for us to do 3 fairs and only make $180, something like that, is insane. So honestly, like I said, right now my mindset is focus on getting everything right. That everything that we're supposed to do that first, and then worry about what comes later. I'm always battling with the idea of what is the right thing to do, when should I do it? And I always think like, okay, maybe if there's a spreadsheet, it'll explain to me what's the right thing to do, when to do it. However, an idea or thought I've had in the last year or so is that data always trails reality or the truth, right? So if there's anything that's happening, the data is going to always come after that, always, right? And I think that people, myself included, we know what we're supposed to do, which is the truth. right? We just know it. We can feel it. We just, for whatever reason, will choose not to do that thing. And I think that is the major difference between people who are getting things done and people who aren't. It's just doing the things that you know you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. So that's something I've been trying to internalize this week, and just making a list and just doing all the things on the list that need to be done. And when it comes to deciding what should be done, when it should be done, there's no, I can't ever think of the word for this, because I want to say like a mental, like it's non-physical. There's no, I can't think of the word, but there's no foo-foo-ness about it, right? Like, you could tell. So an example of that would be, if I want to increase my productivity, right? I'm like, okay, let's increase my productivity. What can I do? Or I could clean up in the house. That will increase my productivity, right? But if I compare that to, I'm going to go to the storage unit and I'm going to work in a storage unit, that is a clear, undoubtedly increase of productivity. I am in the storage unit. I am literally doing work in the storage unit, right? There's no like, I'm getting 10% more done or 5 minutes more work done. It's like, no, if I go to the storage unit, I can say I know I'm going to edit for 3 or 4 hours. I'm not leaving the storage unit. I'm literally going to have distracted work of just being in the storage unit. So this week, this is my list that I have for this week. And this is my other biggest issue that I really have, is the small stuff. Is I really hate just how inconveniencing little tiny interruptions could be. So my list right now that I've had for this week, I add things, take them off as the week goes along. It's order small bags. We ran out of the Ember Candle Co., the little bags. We don't have those anymore. We have maybe like 25 left, something like that, right? That's another, it's like $250 to get 500. No, it's like, I think it's $160 for 500. But it takes 30 days to get here. So there's that. We have to send a photographer candles. We have to make make big a D, which is one of the candles. Bring polyfill to the craft fair. Right now, something like that, bring polyfill to the craft fair. In my mind, that's a very small thing, right? But I know every time I'm at the craft fair, I see the wall. Whenever I see lights that are showing from the wall, I'm like, damn, I don't like the way that looks. Now, we might lose a sale from that. I don't know. But I know that I think about it when I'm there. So I'm working on just removing all of those things that I think about when I'm there. And I'm doing it in the order of what I know I should be doing first. Like, it's not like I think it's so funny, right? Because if I look at a list and said, okay, what should I do first? My brain instantly goes, that, but I don't want to do it. Like, instantly. That's what happens with my brain. So now if I just look at that list and do those things that I know that I don't want to do, that I should be doing, I think it'll be a lot easier to move the needle forward when it comes to getting work done. So I'm gonna go down the rest of my list. So we got longer fabric for the table. We've been talking about this for weeks now, or probably even months, is that if people prefer a higher table, right? So we bought like extenders for the table, but now with extenders, we need a new tablecloth for that because it won't actually cover the whole table. So that is one other thing we have to buy. So now think about this. We're at a craft fair. We might have a pop-up that just comes out of nowhere that we're going to do. We have a makeshift like fabric, and then it's too short. So now it's too short. People walking by the table. You can see underneath the table, it looks like there's all this storage and luggage down there. And it's not as appealing as if you came by and saw like a really pristine setup. But again, how big of an importance is that thing? I don't know. I don't think it's that big, but I know it keeps coming up. I'm like, all right, add to the list. Make candles. Send out review candles. So some of y'all may have seen that we did a promotion this week where anyone that leaves a review with a picture, because a lot of people weren't putting pictures up, we would send you a travel size candle. Now, originally what we were gonna do was only you have to come pick it up to get the candle, but I feel like a lot of people probably would have left reviews for that. I also think that, well, this is a little bit different, but it's going to cost us money to send those out because we're sending to people who are not necessarily in the 5 boroughs, and that can be like $6 a person to get the candle. So I think at this point we might have 4, 2, 4. That's 8, maybe like 10 reviews, 12 reviews. That's roughly $60 or so. At this time we don't have. Then we have schedule sent posts on IG, sent posts. So that is a bunch of pictures from Midjourney, which helps me to create images to put on Instagram, right? Send out social cat candles. Social cat, something we talked about for a while now. We finally got a response back from some of the people that we want to work with, so we have to send them out candles, which is going to cost more money to send them out candles. So at this point, kind of see what helps us, what will make us the most money. Changing the website layout, buying and paying vessels, which are pretty much what we use at the craft fair to put the candles on top of, which make the candles look better. Me buying earrings, and I'm talking about like 100% cubic zirconia earrings, like $25, if even. I don't think they cost that much earrings, just for the aesthetic of it when we're at the fair, because I think that will help us get more sales. Clean a bathroom. We have the outro we have not done for last week. Make samples, buy one of the fragrance oils, do laundry, fold laundry, change dust cover size, and as we're doing right now, film the podcast. So that's my to-do list for right now, and I would like to have everything done by the end of the week that I can get done. I think the only thing that probably won't get done, I think they require money to do. But other than that, I think we should be good as far as that. Now I'm gonna switch gears a little bit to the SNAP benefits / EBT / food stamps. So that was supposed to be like a saving grace and kind of really release a lot of pressure when it comes to buying food for us. For whatever reason, they have not sent me any more money to use to buy groceries. So we haven't actually bought groceries, like gone grocery shopping in maybe 2 weeks or so. Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks that we've actually gone grocery shopping. We've only been able to buy like ends and like little tiny things here and there. This happened at a time where, as I said earlier, we had we had the worst week we've ever had, or not week, but day we've ever had selling candles at a craft fair. So we would have done amazing this weekend. We made $800 on Saturday, and we would have done we could have made like $1,500 on Sunday. We would have made $20-something $100 this weekend, and we did not do anything on Sunday. That money would have went to us paying for groceries, but now we probably only have like $200 to our name, maybe $300, and we have to now not figure out, as I said earlier, we already know, but allocate that money to the best proper resource that we need to get. So this week has been a very eye-opening and jarring week, but I think that Melissa and I kind of had this convo too, that if we had made a lot of money on Sunday, we may not have had the drive that we have right now to get a lot of things done going forward. Because, like I said, I'm really at this point just fed up with the process that we've been at, and I think that we have more gears that we can activate for what we're doing. I think right now we're probably on like a gear 2. I think that we can get to a gear 5. But I think we know what to do, we're just not doing it. So this Sunday would be the mark of the changing, going, okay, this is not going to work. Like, it's not working. That whatever we're doing, we're making money, it's not enough. The last week, maybe 2 weeks now, Melissa's been posting on social media, and we've gotten, we haven't done a podcast since then. So we've gotten maybe 3 to 5 sales in the last week online. So we know that what we're doing is working, I think. but we can't replicate it. We don't really know what about it is working. What we do know, and honestly, I be having this thought in my head a lot, is that a lot of people buy our candle from Instagram. So my brain says it would make sense to do Instagram, like put a lot of energy into that. However, when I check the website, the people that buy the candles, they like, we've met them already, and then they follow us on Instagram and come to the website, right? So we don't really have that interaction with them personally outside of the Instagram. I think Melissa posting regularly recently has been keeping people engaged in the brand and has enticed them to buy more. Now, we had someone recently who bought a candle. Funny enough, her name is M. Burr, right? Like her first name starts with the M, her last name is B-U-R. So she bought a candle because she had a friend who was here who may have bought one of our candles, who told her that the brand name was M. Burr. Now, that's not something we can replicate. However, I don't know if that person is following us on Instagram and they then told her again after Melissa's been posting a bunch of videos this week. I'm really looking at it. What is the thing right in front of me that I could do and do that thing? So here's something that I found out, which I thought was very interesting. I wanted to know kind of what our operating expenses are for the craft fair, or just for the business, right? I was shocked to see what the number was. The burn rate for Ember Candle Co. is about $7,500 a month, right? That is about how much we have to spend every single month to operate the business. Now, I'm going to run down what the operation or operating costs look like, okay? So for rent, we're paying on average, and honestly, it might be a little bit higher than this. We're paying $1,587 a month, right? Then for the cost of goods, so on inventory per month, we probably spend between $24,000 and $3,000. I have it at $3,000 on here because I took the average of the last 3 months and divided that. But as y'all may know, sometimes we buy things in bulk and then it would be a higher month. So, but on average, the last 3 months, we spent $3,000 on inventory. We do a giveaway every single week, right? That candle costs $47. So that's $188 right there that we are doing to run the business. Our debt. Now, I want to actually ask you, babe. So debt, we have the $500 twice, the $250, and then the $120. Am I missing anything? We have bill.
I wouldn't count the $500 twice.
How come?
Only one of them is business related.
For storage for the unit, it's $440, right? On subscriptions, we're spending about $381. On transportation, we're spending about $285 a month. On food, we're spending roughly $134. This is just like when we go to a craft fair and eat food at the craft fair. We spend about $135 a month. And then on shipping, when we have an order we have to ship out and the giveaway and things like that, it is about $100 a month. So all in all, Melissa said that she doesn't, one of those bills that we have to pay is not necessarily an Ember Candle Co. bill. So we would remove that $500, so it brings it down to $7,068. So that's, like I said, give or take $300 to $500. That's what we have to pay every single month to run the business. So for us to make a good amount of money, we would have to make more than that, and either make more than that or cut our expenses down significantly. The biggest expense that we have on here is inventory, right? Inventory and rent. We can't really cut rent down, but Melissa and I have been talking about us possibly ending our membership because they really just be, I don't even know why we even paying it. It's so, I can't even say that. I know why we're paying it. It's such an unfortunate series of events that happen. So for those who don't understand the membership, last year around this time, Melissa and I were doing craft fairs, right? We were getting into arguments about when to book, or it being overbooked and we not being able to get a spot for 2 weeks. Now we can't make any money. Things like that would happen regularly. So we're like, dag, we can't really afford to book the craft fair like 6 weeks out. We don't have that kind of money to do, or even 4 weeks out. We can't do that. So we might book 2 at a time. We might book one now, then maybe one in a month from now. But what we were doing was we would book it every single Sunday for the next following week. So us going through that was like, listen, we cannot be losing these days through the craft fair. We have to do it every single week if we want to pay people back, if we want to be able to survive and buy food and whatever other like household items we need. We have to do the craft fair regularly. So lo and behold, they came out with this sinister plan of having a membership. So how the membership works is you pay for the month up front. You also give them a deposit, and then they hold your spot for you, right? That's pretty much how it works. As soon as we got the membership, it was a free-for-all. Everybody in there had open spots. There was empty booths. There was available places all over the market. It wasn't packed up anymore. And we're like, what? But we thought, okay, we know it's supposed to be slow in January, February, but we never did it before, like consistently. So let's see what exactly is going to happen. Our biggest concern was getting the summertime, because we heard like, oh my God, summertime at Artisan Fleet is going to be amazing. Like, you're going to make so much money. That's what we're hearing. So we're like, all right, we already got the winter time. It don't really matter. Let's make sure we lock in the summertime. So we locked in the summertime, right? Thinking, oh, maybe about to go crazy in the summer. We did not go crazy in the summer. It did not happen. But we were like, hey, let's lock in the next 3 months, because that was the time that we had last year where we were arguing about dates. We couldn't get a spot. It was always booked up. As soon as we would blink, the spot would be gone. Let's make sure we have those dates locked in. So as of this podcast being recorded, we have those dates locked in, but we don't know how busy they'll be. Everybody's supposed to be busy. I would be floored if we go into the next 3 months and they're not busy. Last year, October, right, at Artisan Fleas, here's the numbers that we had, right? I'm gonna give you a rundown of how we did in October. Actually, no, I'm gonna start off with August. Whew. Honestly, all right, we're gonna see. End of the month, this week coming up should be a good month. Should be a good week. All right. So on August 6th of last year, we did $930, right? Let's check how we did this year. That was the first week of August, I think. Yes, that was the first Saturday of August. The first Saturday of this August, we did $156. Oh, wait, my bad, guys. We did $425 the first week of this August. Last year, we did $930, and we sold 46 candles. 46 units, excuse me. No, we had 46 candles. We sold 46 candles. So that Sunday, we did 470. Then the following Sunday, we had our biggest candle day ever at, actually we missed a week. August 20th. We did $1,235, and we sold 59 candles in a day. That's a crazy amount of candles to sell in one day. It's crazy, right? So now I'm gonna just go down the list. August, that Sunday we did 585. In September, we did the first week, we did 1170, then 455, then 675, then 395, then 855, then 840, then 1015. Now we're in October, right? September we only did what, 3 times? We did 4 times. September we made $2,695. In October we made $7,131. honestly, let me remove this number right here because we made $6,391 in October of last year. So we are hoping that these next 2 months and these next weeks in August really come through and hold it down, because we've already switched gears in our mind to online and trying to figure out how that works. And we've gotten some traction, but I wouldn't say it's enough for us to legitimately say we figured it out. But we are near the end of the podcast, and we can't have the podcast end without the League of Villains segment. Yay, League of Villains segment. Woo, League of Villains.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Excuse me. Hey, so, all right, couple updates. I started a new program. I had to sign an NDA, so I wasn't sure what I could talk about, but I reread the NDA, so I could say that I'm in the program, but I can't share like course materials and stuff like that. But pretty much after I went to the Beyonce luncheon, they gave us like resources for us to take advantage of. Now, our business is a little too big, so a lot of those resources I really couldn't take advantage of, but this one in particular, we like make too much money. So I think out of the 6 or 7 programs that was a part of the thing, like I think I only qualified for maybe 3. So and that's a huge maybe, like might be 2, but either way, one of the programs is like a black business. I'm just now starting it, so I don't know how to classify it yet. It seems different from the course that I did before, but also kind of similar. Yeah, I really don't know how to describe it, but I'll be able to once the weeks goes on and I get more information and more of a feel of what they're doing. But some funding might come out of it. I'm always here for the funding. And also, so from the first program that we did, that I did, there was a guy that had a tech company pretty much that makes apps for small businesses, and he actually reached out asking if we want to have an app. So like that's a cool thing that came from doing the course, and we'll see if we actually go through with it, what the process is and all that stuff later. But that's something that I'm opposed to it, so I'm excited to see how this is going to go for the next 12 weeks. What else is happening? I officially put our products on Etsy, and they are officially on TikTok Shop. So I am fake excited for TikTok Shop because TikTok is trying to grow certain things. And whenever a company is trying to grow certain things, whenever a company is trying to grow a new asset, a new program, normally from what I've seen, they do put a lot more energy into it and kind of really promote that thing because they're trying to get people to do that thing. So the big picture that I have for social media right now is brand awareness. I want more people to know that Ember exists. We've already have a proof of concept. People have been buying our products all year. Last year, people love it. People rave about it. We asked for reviews. It was quick to get them reviews in, and it's not no skimpy review. They leave in paragraphs. You feel me? Paragraphs. They got pictures. So we have a very strong proof of concept. We have a market that we're still trying to segment and all that stuff. So right now, I'm trying to, my goal is brand awareness. I want to get more people to know about Ember. I want to get more people involved. I want to get more people, knowing that there's this product out there that they might be interested in and that, they fit into that community and want to have that experience. So when I think of brand awareness, when I think of that, I think of like getting a lot of views. So that's short form content. Short form content gets you a ton of views. And if you're consistent, you know, it might get you a ton of views to the same people that may become interested and want to end up buying your product. The only thing is that each platform for the short form content kind of has a different audience that it appeals to. So TikTok, I feel like, is really young, really young. And I feel like our audience is a bit older. I think our target market is probably like between 24 and maybe like early 40s. So, yeah. So a good amount, a percentage of that market is on TikTok, but I feel like a lot of them aren't. For me, it seems like the content doesn't hit as well on TikTok. It could be because I don't really know the formula for making the content hit on TikTok yet. But I wonder if that has anything to do with it. It's not reaching as much people as I want to. Right now we have 33 followers and all of our videos are hovering around the like 250 to 300 mark. Then we have Instagram. Instagram is people that we've met in person. They've been to the fair, they've experienced, you know, Ember, they've met me, they've met Donovan. So, and you know, we kind of have like a running joke or just kind of like insider things that we know a lot of our customers experience. So it's kind of easier for me to tap into that and post that on Instagram than it is for me to post on TikTok or YouTube. So there's that. But once again, so TikTok is more personal. TikTok is like, you've met me before, I know you, like you might come around again. So that's a different kind of relationship than I would have with someone on TikTok. YouTube treat me the best. YouTube will show the shorts to thousands of people. Well, we've got 5,000, 2,000, 3,000 here and there. So I'm really feeling YouTube Shorts is really giving me the brand awareness that I'm really looking for. And the only thing is that I haven't necessarily seen sales come from it. And right now we have an Instagram shop and we have a TikTok shop. And I'm hoping that by having the Instagram shop, by having the TikTok shop, that those platforms will probably, I'm hoping that it would push our content and push our our stuff more, because they would get a piece of that since they're processing the orders from those platforms. TikTok is a behemoth. I just found out from setting up my TikTok shop that they have a commission program with creators on TikTok, which is insane because that's what we were using Social Cat for. So if we can use TikTok kind of for free to do the same thing we were going to do on Social Cat, that's really interesting. But like I said, I'm still trying to figure it out. Another cool feature that I found out TikTok has a QVC pretty much. Like you can do live shopping on TikTok if you have the shop set up. So I couldn't go live on TikTok because I didn't have 1,000 followers. Now with only 33 followers with a TikTok shop and a business account, I'm able to go live and try to sell people the candles from the live, which is crazy. So I'm going to try that for the first time. I might do a little test run today just because I'm curious, but I feel like my first like official time trying is probably going to be either Saturday, depending on how the day is going, and probably most definitely Sunday, because Sundays are normally slow. And I really want to do it at the fair because we have the nice background, we have the nice setup, all the products are there, we can kind of like, you know, interact with the live at the same time as interacting with the customers, and they can hear the conversation. Like, you know, I'm very excited to see how that goes and to see if any sales come from it. And that's my main thing that I've been focusing on right now. So I've been trying to stay consistent, doing my 2 TikToks a day, and yeah, brand awareness. I've also been taking care of my skincare routine. I don't know, I would have to look at the camera, like I can't really see to see if there's really a difference, but I normally have like a whole bunch of marks on my face. I feel like my like marks have gotten lighter, so I'm excited about that. And when it comes to the trajectory of the business, something cool so another cool thing that Donovan and I are trying to figure out is we came to the realization that what we're paying for from the markets is for marketing, right? That's what we're paying for. We're paying for the markets to market to other people and let them know that there is this place that you can get all these cool different things, and the markets are supposed to bring us people, because yeah, that's the advantage that it brings. Aside from that, you can get a vendor's license and stand, like, you know, set up shop on the street and sell there. But you may not be guaranteed foot traffic, and you may not be guaranteed that people are going directly to you, and you'll get the kind of issues that we had at like Turnstile, and kind of similar to what we're having at, you know, our current markets that we go to now. So with that being said, what Donovan and I are considering doing is to get that street vendor's license and really make a really, really, really nice pop-up. Very, very, very like intricate. Like, you see it, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, what is that? We want it to look like a big brand popped up in the city and have that vibe. And then, because if it looks good, people will go to it and they'll buy from it. So we're gonna try and hash that out and see how that goes. The street vendor's license is like $100. Think about that. Like, it's $100 for 2 years, and that would allow us to sell on the street or whatever. $100 for 2 years, and we'll be fine. We've been paying Artists of Fleas $350 every week. We'll pay Grand Bazaar $100 for a day. We'll pay Brooklyn Papa $200 for a day. You feel me? Like, if whatever we learned from spending that $100 to allow us to sell on the street for a year with our setup, it really that changes the game a lot. That changes the game a lot, especially if we could get that setup to really look like I could spend $50 here. That changes the game so much, because that means we could sell whenever we want. We have to wait for the weekends. It's kind of like, oh, we low on funds, let's go outside today. You feel me? So I'm excited about that, and I'm looking forward to see what comes from it.
So yeah, that license thing is another game changer. I think it's another strategy. We don't know it's a game changer until we do it. That's how we're looking at things now. It's a game changer once we do it, and let it change the game to then call it a game changer. You know what changed the game? The game. The game was a game changer. You know what changed the game? The new scents. They changed the game when we got them. People loved them. It's a game changer. Speculation is just speculation. So we speculate that it'll be amazing, that we could figure it out, and there's a lot less, the threshold and their barrier to entry is so much lower for us to figure it out. Like, we could actually figure it out. We could go outside every day for a week to figure it out. We literally only have like a couple. We don't have any time really to figure it out on the weekends. It's like, all right, we're here. They're selling. We don't even know if we need something else for the sign or whatever. So, and I think I saw something recently. Some business that's it was Van Leeuwen.
Oh yeah.
I sent you that.
I know the brand. I don't know. I didn't see what you sent.
So the guy it was like 3 of them that started it. They used to sell out of a truck. They had rented out of a truck, and
big old them.
Yes.
Big. Cause that's like, I think the first time I saw them was in Whole Foods.
Yeah.
First time I saw them was in Whole Foods, and I like their colors. It's like pastel. Kind of gives me a similar. It's kind of similar to us in a sense. But ice cream.
Yeah. Let me see. How many stores do they have?
Red Facts, they have stores now. They have one in
You said now? They've been at stores. I feel like I saw their stores before they
I saw the ice cream first. So
yeah.
That's why.
There's
But they
a bunch
have
of
one
stores.
in Williamsburg. Right across from Muji.
Honestly, to be honest with you, when I saw them, I don't even know how many stores they had when I saw them. I know they were mass, but when I saw them.
That's what I'm like.
Van Leeuwen.
Yeah. They have a store in across from Muji in Williamsburg.
Yeah, because the guy, they have.
I want to guess.
Okay.
I think they have 30.
That's great guess. They have 27.
Yep.
17 are in New York. And he said that they're on their best day, they do $300,000 in a day.
In one store?
Yeah. No. Across all the stores. Which is.
So that's like 10K store?
Isn't that crazy? It's not really a lot.
It is for free.
It's a lot, but that's like a summertime. Like, it's not every day, but the most is that they can do like $300,000 a day. But if you have 30 stores, it's like $10,000 a day. $10,000 for that for that day, and they're not Starbucks.
Right, I was just to say Starbucks is crazy because Starbucks, we might hit 5 to 7 in the morning, or like in the first half of the day. So I think we used to do like 13.
Right, and I'm like, so I said, I always think about it now because we kind of have a store. So I'm always looking at things like from unit economics, where like how many are you actually selling? Because like if we were to make 10,000 sales or $10,000 from candles, that would be, I feel like that'd be a lot of candles.
You know what's great? When I was working at Models, they used to have us memorize those numbers, the conversion rate, memorize how many. But it did nothing for me as an employee to like do that. Mm-hmm. But they had us memorize it, and they would like come in and they would quiz us on it. And like I said, I didn't understand why. I still don't think it's necessary for employees
to know how much money you're making.
Like, to know all of that stuff, like it would literally be like the conversion, how many units, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. I don't think that's necessary because it doesn't do anything for me selling.
Yeah.
But yeah, they told us all their business.
Bro, so we would have to sell 212 big candles.
That's not really a lot.
Right. Like it's not like.
It's
if we have a store, I feel like that'd be more reasonable.
Like 50, we've done 15 a day now, right?
But not big.
Not big, yeah.
So if we were doing the small one or the medium one, it would have to be 312.
I already know. The candles are gonna be worth like the candles are still under value.
Yeah.
We are just not big enough.
Right. Well, we'll be back here next week. You can find all the behind the scenes content on our social media. Mine is DonivanGray, DonivanGray, and my phenomenal, beautiful, amazing girlfriend, Anita Byrne. ANETA. My phenomenal, beautiful, amazing girlfriend, Melissa Burnette. ANETABURN. Road to 500K. We gonna figure it out. Bamboo Project out.